I'm a huge Fallout fan, to the extent that 3 out of 5 of my favourite games of all time happen to be Fallout games. The Fallout universe is my favourite fictional universe. Fallout lore would be my mastermind subject, and I'm saying these things because I believe that there's certain people who need to know that I am le true fan from the outset of this video, or they'll accuse me of hating Bethesda and having a voodoo doll of Todd Howard hidden under my bed pillow. And I'll even say, if you're enjoying this game, if you like this game, then that's okay. That couldn't be more okay. It doesn't make you not a true fan, you go knock yourself out. So Fallout 76. It's fun with friends. This is the often touted phrase by many people, and you know what, I'll admit it is fun with friends. But being fun with friends doth not a good experience make. Throwing dog shit at a garden fence can be fun with friends if you've had a few. You've heard it before, but Fallout 76 is a buggy, unfinished, uninspired, low-effort mess, and this is far, far more apparent when you decide to try it solo. And it was pretty apparent to begin with as well. After having played a not insignificant amount of this game in a group, I decided I would also have a second character, and on this character I'd only play the game solo, just to truly see what was on display in this game, and by God I tried. And that is not a lie, I truly tried to enjoy this game, for what little it at least had to offer, but I just couldn't. I came to the realisation that notes and holotapes only carry weight when they're placed within a world that feels alive and has more story to offer besides them. They work as a supplementary piece of bread to go with your meal, and this game has no main course. It is entirely breadsticks and chewing gum, and I don't think that these things could have cut it as the only storytelling device if the lore was actually good, but it's not. It's constantly contradictory, and it's constantly retconning things and giving weak excuses for things that the devs just wanted to reuse the assets for. Because why not just shove in the Brotherhood and Super Mutants and Deathclaws and whatever the fuck else? Because who cares, right? Because only nerds care about lore. Fuck 'em. Okay, so whatever. They took out the story and the dialogue, and what little you get is basically fanfiction on environmental storytelling. But this is a spin-off after all. So they must have replaced the story with something else to justify the other half of the price tag, right? Well, yes, they added the multiplayer component, which mainly comprises of 2 parts, the social interaction and the PvP. Well, there's no push to talk, so everybody has the chat function turned off for the most part, so what little enjoyment you could get from talking to some random dickhead online is out the window. So how's the PvP? Well, quite similarly, it's so neutered with its slapping system and its zero incentives to even engage in it, that everyone just acts as if it's not even a feature for the most part, so scratch that one off too. So we've taken deep and engaging dialogues with characters that someone actually took the time to write and replaced it with, every now and then you'll see some guy and maybe you'll wave at them, probably not, bonus feature, randomly disconnecting from the server. Which leads me nicely into talking about the monumental technical issues that this game has. This game is legitimately more of a mess than New Vegas was on launch, and that game was so broken you could barely play it. This game just happens to be broken and you don't want to play it. Keep in mind that when I say what I'm about to say, that it is currently 2018. And on top of the endless visual, auditory and gameplay related bugs, the physics are still tied to the frame rate of your game. There is no FOV slider, the graphical options are limited to a laughable level, without INI tweaks the game blurs more than Vaseline on a bathroom window at beyond 12 feet, there is unchangeable mouse moving and horrendous mouse lag, and these are just the things that I can think of off the top of my head. Well, what did you expect from Bethesda? Some fucking integrity. This is one of the most successful game companies of all time. They can't even make a game that has the most basic of features. Or at the very least, they could make their archaic engine run at more than 6 FPS in moderately dense areas, and all of this topped off with a $60 price tag and a microtransaction store. Bethesda is well known for stretching the truth when it comes to talking about their games. They, more specifically Todd Howard, frequently embellish the truth in order to make their games seem more approachable. This is such a well-known fact that it even became a meme at this point. But this time around it goes further than that. Todd's claims that this game was more of an ambitious undertaking than Skyrim, and that this game has 16 times the detail of Fallout 4, are flagrantly false. It is rife with reused assets and duct tape, and feels like a patch job all over the surface. New Vegas was a similar situation, but at least you can look at that game and identify things that have clearly had love and attention put into them, and they very clearly did amazingly given the time that they had, but Bethesda, in 76's case, did not have any time constraints. This is not a third-party project, and it had no reason to be rushed out the door in its clearly unfinished state, but lo and behold it was. This game, whether you love it or hate it, is not something to be praising Bethesda for. Consumers deserve better than to have some barely functional gruel dumped on their plate before they're asked for $60 plus a tip. What you're ultimately left with in this game is the basic Fallout 4 gameplay loop of kill, loot, craft, like you're a mindless ape with a hard-on for desk fans, except this time around both you and your storage at your house have incredibly limited carry weight, so the game becomes kill, leave all the stuff because you can't carry it, ask your friend if he has any spare screws. And all of this hinges around Fallout 4's shallow as hell weapon customization, but now with the need to discover blueprints for parts to build. So in order to mod a pipe gun, I have to scrap another pipe gun. But I can't fucking carry any pipe guns because I need to pick up every piece of lead in order to just tread water with my ammo count. But after all, what am I even collecting ammo for? So that I could play Fallout 4's combat minus the VATS on a server that sometimes decides to not register a single one of my bullets. Fallout's combat has never been good, but it's never been more apparent than in this game, where the bed covers are being ripped off so that we can see its pale, wriggling body huddled for warmth. If you can even see anything past those nose-breaking recoil animations, you'll notice that every melee enemy runs directly at you with no tactics needed because they just infest your field of vision to the point at which you have to sit further back in your chair not to give yourself an aneurysm, and ranged enemies either dart sideways across your screen so fast that you're barely able to hit them, or they stand out in the open spamming their pea shooters and spouting quirky dialogue like they're a teenage girl with a ukulele. The combat isn't engaging, the story isn't engaging, we're not engaged yet, Graham, when are we going to get married? Between Skyrim, Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, it's becoming apparent that Bethesda doesn't really want to make the games that people used to love them for. They're not interested in crafting RPGs anymore, they want to make open world action games and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the very least they can make functional ones. And by God I wish they would have a change of heart, because Fallout used to be a series that was known for its player choice, and now it's more well known for building bases and its overuse of more superficial aspects of its identity. So in a way I'm happy that this game exists, and I'm happy that it's getting shit on as hard as it is. No, not because I hate Bethesda, I love Bethesda, I truly am a huge fan. But because maybe this will actually make Bethesda reassess what people want from them. Maybe they'll finally listen to people that are saying, hey Bethesda, this is what we want. We want story and choice and a character that we can make our own. Well, at least that's what I want.
Oh,